And it just blew my mind that this is what happens when humanity can come together. And if you look at the pyramids, you'll see multiple cultures having their architecture blending on the same pyramid. So it shows this beautiful experiment of humanity coming together for that purpose. And I thought, if they could do it without what we have, why can't we do that again? I like to tell people economics are like a hammer. You know, you can kill someone with it or you can build something with it. So our economic system is something we need to harness and not look at humanitarianism as just philanthropy, but how can I invest my money? How can I, whether it's conscious capitalism or social responsible investing, use both hands.
Conscious capitalism that is as ignorant and misguided as the one with the men and goats and Wesley Clark and all of and General Clark and all of the kooky people that they're surrounding themselves with.
Yeah.
That's not conscious capitalism. That's quackery. That is, you know, and what did it result in? An innocent woman went to jail and her mother went to an early grave. Mm-hmm. That is what these people are capable of doing, and she's right. In her hand, that hammer can be wielded to kill, to crush, to destroy. And they did. That is exactly what they did.
Yeah, she really irritates me because of her lies, too. I mean, she's talking about Christinal Hollenback almost drowning. I never heard of any drowning situations on November 20th. I know there are water cannons and people are getting shot with water, but she made it sound like she was just out there like a gazelle running around saving people and was drowning, and it just bothers me. And then I'm getting irritated with finding out more and more about her because even her posts are like wordy and repeating words, and it's like, come on, you know, I thought you were into communications, but I suppose when you're rich, you got a bunch of rich people and you're showing them this rich people's experience, you just kind of get away with that, huh?
Oh my God, she could literally bore you to death.
It's happening.
That's why I can't listen to her for very long. But I wanted you see, if you can't listen to her long enough, then you won't be able to catch how crazy she is.
That's true.
But
that's
she
true.
She is cat poop crazy. Okay, I'm not joking.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe all of the people in. Doesn't this look like a cult to you?
Yeah, it does.
This is so culty. It's weird. And so here is the next Menape post. We've got Menape out there with Christinal Hollenback. He's the one that ordered her. And remember, he's connected to Bold, Nebraska Bold, Jane Cleve.
Yeah.
And all those people in politics out there. Here, you can see his name is now Akichira Hokusira.
Yeah.
But he was actually going by Menape Hochini Ga. And again, I suspect that he's had to change his name because he is a chameleon, just like this Nexus Christinal Hollenback. They have to keep changing their names like McLean because they're criminals. And here is another part of the posts that include her. There's Christinal Hollenback in the background with her blonde hair.
Yeah.
And Menape is right up front. And it says, if you look, this one was posted by Ann Thompson-Frenk long ago. And you can see his old name there. Menape Hochini Ga.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, it says, and there is friend of Christinal Hollenback. Yeah. So Menape is connected directly to Christinal Hollenback and the Nexus group and Wes Clark.
Yep.
All of the people involved in the crime of Kathleen Bennett and Mary Trujillo. Every single freaking one of them.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I wanted to show you is how she is connected to Ann Thompson-Frenk. I mean, I already showed you one of the pictures connecting them as friends, but I wanted to make it very clear they're definitely friends.
Yeah.
They're not just acquaintances. They're friends. What does it say there? Two of my favorite people getting to know each other at Cosmic Cafe, Christinal Hollenback. And this is on August 2nd, 2017. Okay. Christina was one of the water protectors at DAPL, and Ricardo Cervantes Mexica Teotihuacano is a spiritual leader. No, I doubt that.
Yeah.
Among the Tolteca people of Teotihuacan, No, he's not. You can learn more about his work for his community at Centro Cultural Tolteca de Teotihuacan, AC, Toltec Cultural Center, with Christinal Hollenback, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Tag. So there she is, hanging out with Christina. And remember, that's the Indian she bought in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the same guy that's in the video that you watched where she's getting honored.
Oh, that's right.
And they're
He
giving
is.
her gifts. He's the guy painting her. He's the guy
He
in
did
the
the
pictures.
bow necklace, yes.
He's the guy in the pictures in Egypt with her.
Ah,
He's the
yes.
guy that travels around with her. He's one of her spiritual shaman.
I see.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this is another Christina. These are pictures of Christina
Yeah.
in the Illuminati poses.
Oh, there she is.
Here, this is one of her. This is Christina's post. If you pull it down, you can see. No, down. There it says, Christinal Hollenback added this photo on August 31st, 2017. Do you see how closely that is right after this other picture?
Yep.
Because she went to Mexico with the Tonatiuh guy.
I see.
And with her buddy, Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one says, underneath, oh, that's the whole picture. You can see her. So she's standing underneath, you know how they did in the other ones, inside of a pyramid, where there's the hole that lets the light shine through. And when you stand, it makes your face look like a glowing orb.
Yeah.
So they're all the weird cultural Illuminati. Here's another picture of herself doing this weird Illuminati thing where she has her face all a ball of light on August 7. And what does it say on the bottom?
Have a look.
It says from her, Patricia Richards. That's Grandma Patricia.
Oh,
remember her?
Yes.
That fake Indian, because she's like Italian, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We showed her recently.
Yeah.
And Patricia says, wondered where you went, Mini Unchi.
Mm-hmm.
And Christina,
Hi,
she loves being talked to
Yeah.
in Lakota. She's like, hi, Unchi. I am still down in Teotihuacan with my Tolteca family. I think it's Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk Tolteca family. Did you buy them too? Do you own part of them?
Yep.
She says, be back this weekend. So
Let's talk soon.
where are all the Indians you purchased, Christina? Well, there's some over here and there's some over there.
Yeah, exactly.
And so here is the next picture. This one is Wes going to Marion Thompson-Frenk posts about Wes. And in her post, she says, I feel tremendous. This was, as you can see, September 2nd, 2017. Okay? This is just months after the conversation I'm about to play for you. Okay? That took place, an interview with me and Wes in June 20th. This is just months after that.
Yep.
And she posted it saying, I feel tremendously blessed to know so many remarkable people who are doing their share. By the way, this isn't an album, Duke.
Okay.
Labeled People That Inspire Me or some nonsense like that. And there was only 3 people in there. And this was one of them. And she said,
the short list.
I feel tremendously blessed to know so many remarkable people who are doing their share to make the world and our country a better place. Not all of them get the publicity they deserve. But as my elders have asked me, who among my generation and younger are leaders that I deeply respect, I felt I should begin this album here so that you can meet a few. There really is only a few. And get a taste as to why I hold them in such high regard. No, we don't all think the same way, and certainly have our share of disagreements, but every one of them are individuals I give thanks to Creator for every day, for their presence in our world, and for their continued selfless leadership. She talks like an Indian too.
Yeah.
And yes, she's Mexican, but remember she was adopted and she knows nothing about her culture other than what the fake sold out purchased Indians that she's bought, her, shaman that she's purchased, have told her, and now she walks around talking like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then here is the quote from Wesley Clark that she posted along with this picture. Quote, the Russian goal, Russia just rolls right off his lips, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Russian goal, he would know all about it, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
The Russian goal is to split the United States apart along racial, ethnic, class, and political and religious regional lines. Placing Trump on the throne just sped up their plan. Powerful nations often defeat themselves. It was the strategy we used against the Soviet Union, and it is still strategy Putin is using against us. Can you continue?
I prefer ugly truths to pretty lies. We've done a lousy job as Americans making our country a better place. We treat politics as a sport or a piggy bank rather than a serious endeavor. It is. We worship the rich and powerful who prove to us over and over that the only thing that matters to them is their money and their power. We continue to discriminate against our fellow Americans for any number of irrational reasons. We are not honest about our past and the horrible atrocities and injustices we have committed, often against our fellow citizens. We continue to hate and fear one another. We are robbing our children of civilization and probably life itself in our suicidal march towards an enemy that cannot be fought with tanks or bought off with gold, the climate. Putin sees our weakness and knows where to strike. We will always be vulnerable to these lines of attack until America lives up to its promise. Liberty and justice for all. If we could live that way just once and truly be our brothers, our sisters, and parents, and our children's keepers, we could stop being so scared of the world and actually be that city on the hill. Unified, happy, healthy, employed, educated, and invulnerable because nothing could tear us apart. Wesley
Put away
Clark.
your stump speech, Wes. There's no way after what you did out at Standing Rock.
You see what it says about him?
Activist coordinator organized the USA veterans who volunteered at both Standing Rock and Flint. She would know. She helped pay for it over at Nexus. Mm-hmm. And so did Christina. But they also committed crimes. And we specifically showed you that they committed crimes against Mary Trujillo and Kathleen Bennett. They jailed an innocent woman and put one in an early grave. Yeah. These people have blood on their hands. Mm-hmm. These were not small crimes. They're talking about kidnapping. Yeah. And some of the people that they were working with have gone on to commit other crimes, kidnapping, rape. Yep. And so it's very, very concerning to me, not only that these very wealthy people have these unholy alliances with veterans, with celebrities, with people in policy and government in Washington, D.C. in the highest echelons. But that they have completely hidden all of that from us, the American people, so that we were astroturfed. We thought that these people were there to help protect the indigenous people from this pipeline, but they weren't there for that. They were there for themselves. They were astroturfing an issue so they could raise money for their organizations, for their crooked lawyers, for these kooky projects, pseudoscience, this crap that I've been showing you that they are behind. All of them have continued to do this stuff. But of course, Wesley, as I told you, is trying to hide. Mm-hmm. Here's a repost that Ann Thompson-Frenk had to make of that very same thing that Duke just read all the way through on April 10th, just months ago. Yeah. Of this year, 2018, in which she says, I noticed this was taken down somehow. I'm sure he probably took it down. And she says, and I don't know why, so I'm reposting it because I greatly admire Wesley Clark. And Wesley Clark was like, no, I don't want you to tag me. And she tags him. As you can see, that tag is not blue. Yeah. Because he has blocked us and possibly even shut down his Facebook page. Yeah. We don't know.
That's right.
So, I wanted to now share with you how Nexus was connected to the WPLC, and specifically I'm going to play you a video that played in Dallas, Texas, where Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk is from, where Sarah Pipes is from. And after they previewed the Awake movie, the horrible Myron Dewey, Josh Fox, featuring Mulaney Stoneman, the kidnapper movie that was made about all the Standing Rock phonies and all the B-list actors that were hired by Seven McDonald and Maggie Day and the Hollywood people that came out with them, like Frances Fisher and Jane Fonda. So here are just a couple of clips. I want you to pay attention to two things. The cook woman, who has two names for whatever reason, Isobel, and her other name is Michelle Cook, which I've seen all over the place. She was recently in the videos that we shared with you of the people traveling all over Europe, which was, Sarah Jumping Eagle and Wash Day Wee, and this Michelle Cook, and I can't remember who else, but some other women that were going over there and telling the banks to divest. In that show, I showed you that Myron Dewey and that other Patrick Kincaid guy were traveling around in China and in Japan as well. Excuse me. And we showed you that Chase Iron Eyes and Tara Houska were also with this Justice League group or whatever that was traveling to Palestine and Israel. In this clip, I want to show you this woman who's been doing all of that traveling as well. She's Navajo, and Wes has talked to me a lot about his connections to his friends that are Navajo. Mary Ann is the MC for the panel, and she lets Michelle introduce herself. And then I want you to hear how she does a similar thing like what we just saw her do with the honoring of Christinal Hollenback, where she elaborates about why Michelle is such a warrior woman, what she has had to sacrifice out there in the camp, and what the lawyers that were out at Standing Rock had to sacrifice at the camp, what they were putting themselves in, in the front lines of, what they were putting themselves at risk for, and how she embellishes and or outright lies about things I'm sure this woman never even encountered. They were like Mulaney. They showed up in really nice clothes with, minks on for their photo op. But there goes again how Mary Ann Frank and all of these people lie about how they're heroes and warriors, and they just pat themselves on the back. Take a listen.
Movie night panel discussion following Awake, a dream from Standing Rock.
You have some remarkable people here that have joined us this evening, and I'm going to first give them each a chance to just introduce themselves, and then we'll go into the dialogue.
Hello, my name is Michelle Cook. I'm born of the One Who Walks Around You clan of the Dene Nation, and this is how I identify myself as a Dene woman. I'm also a human rights lawyer and a commissioner for the Navajo Nation Human Rights Commission.
That's where things can begin to change, because he may not hear us, he may not take your request for an appointment, but all of us here have the means to put pressure on in this city, and this is where we can begin to actually make a difference. So don't think don't be intimidated by someone in that powerful position. I was brought up in a family that is a powerful business family, and believe me, you can put pressure and you can make a change. But right now, as long as we're silent and as long as we think, oh, well, he's over there, he's going to think that he can continue living his life without having any repercussions, because he thinks he can dismiss all these amazing people. One of the things I also wanted to put into perspective is what Michelle actually put into her work. She says she was volunteering to provide, law services, but actually up at Standing Rock, what that meant, allow me to paint a picture for you. There was a tent that didn't have any way to keep warm. There were flaps open. It was sub-degree temperatures, and there were different attorneys. They were all typing, and each one was desperate to type at least 10 papers a day, because each one of those could help get somebody out of the chicken wire coop they were put in, which, if you go online, you can find Amnesty International describes it as stripping people naked and spraying them with water and keeping them in those outside chicken coops. That's the kind of work that she was doing. So I also just want to recognize that you are an absolute warrior.
Was she in the chicken wire coops, or was she typing papers 10 a day? And the old-timey typewriters, one finger at a time. Like,
there were people in dog cages that were put in dog cages at Morton County.
They weren't outside.
They weren't outside naked,
garage.
being sprayed with water on their way. She's just making up stuff. She's bothering me a lot with these lies. And I don't want to minimize the horrible things that happen to people with the arrest. No. But she's making a mockery of it for giving someone an award, and all this panelists sitting up there, and they're trying to discuss this movie Awake. And I watched that whole video with you. We only gave you a couple minutes of it because you'll start poking your eyes out because these folks aren't going to talk about the movie. It's a panel discussion about whatever else they want to talk about in Texas. In fact, they should have just focused on Texas. Let's talk about what's going on in Texas.
Well, she won.
And it somehow had to be connected to take the opportunity of the Awake movie, and let's talk about some other stuff. So that really bothered me. I'm really happy you chose not to play much more of that video.
Oh, God. I'm sorry I made you watch so much of it when we were researching the video. But, I had to know what was on there. That's,
That's true.
I know by the time we were both done, we had to have a stiff drink because we wanted to poke our eyes out. But thank you for sitting through it with me so that we don't make all of you out there have to listen to it.
Exactly.
So you're welcome. But let me just say that I found it incredibly tone deaf of her to talk about holding rich people accountable. What you didn't hear right before that was that they were holding Kelsey Warren accountable in this audience that did not include Kelsey Warren. And for those who don't know, Kelsey Warren is the owner of the Dakota Access Pipeline, the company that owns the Dakota Access Pipeline, Energy Transfer Partners. And they were talking about how they wanted to tell him this to his face, but they couldn't do that. And she was like, I come from an incredibly wealthy, powerful family, and we can be held accountable. The only reason Kelsey Warren is acting the way Kelsey Warren is acting, and that rich people act that way, is because they believe that regular people like yourselves, that normal people can never hold them accountable. But that's just simply not true. So I want to tell all of you out here that you can hold them accountable. We can start right here in Dallas, and I can tell you, coming from a wealthy, very powerful, very rich family, just as powerful, just as rich as Kelsey Warren's, if not more so, that we can be held accountable. And I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm waiting, Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk, because y'all are full of shite. Excuse my French. But seriously, they're full of bullpucky. They haven't been held accountable. They haven't held themselves accountable. They didn't have the human decency to admit that they made a horrible mistake, that they did something terrible because they thought they could get away with it, folks. Do you realize that? That's the reason why West stayed silent. That's the reason why Christinal Hollenback kept going. That's the reason why all of these people kept silent and just kept pointing at me and saying, that lady's crazy. Don't listen to her, whatever you do. Because they thought they could get away with it. And they didn't. We won. We freed Kathleen's, we freed Kathleen. We got her mother home to her family before she died and reunited her with her family. And they were not able to win. We also were able to get all of her charges dropped, Kathleen Bennett's charges dropped, and she was completely exonerated. We proved conclusively, with statements from the people that accused her and video evidence, that the crime that she was accused of could not have ever happened. Did not happen. And even now, they're all going to try to pretend they didn't commit a heinous crime for which they need to be held accountable for. That they are not these socially responsible warriors for humanity. They're monsters. Mm-hmm. They're clumsy monsters and weird, wacky, unscientific, quackery weirdos. I mean, that's what, that is what they're associated with. That and the alt-right. Like, it's downright creepy. Is there any other crappy stuff you could be associated with? I don't understand how anyone ever trusted them. And yes, they were double dipping. The same people at the WPLC that lied through their teeth at me and told me they knew nothing about Kathleen Bennett were working directly with people like Christinal Hollenback of the Nexus group that accused her, that collected the false statements against her and took them to the police according to the police records themselves. The WPLC should be investigated by the North Dakota State Bar Association. I will make such a recommendation against any and every single one of the lawyers on the WPLC involved in this case, now that I have concrete proof that you all were working with the people that falsely accused this woman. You knew that. You knew the connections between y'all and the WPLC, and you went ahead and kept your lips tightly sealed anyway. You knew you had to have bailed her out from the beginning. You waited 6 months, and then as you saw that we were going to be able to get her out of there without your help, you decided to fly in and try to kidnap her from under her lawyer's nose. And we saw you. We caught you. We thwarted every single one of your efforts. Do you see how useless all of you are with all your money and your wealth and your incredible power? You couldn't stop us. A group of people and a handful of witnesses, literally a handful of decent people that came forward to tell their story. You couldn't stop us from getting justice for Kathleen Bennett and telling the truth about you. I want you to listen to, let me show you, by the way, this is Jordan Chelsea, Olive Bias, and Jay Fuller of the WPLC, all at the courthouse. I showed you this picture before. It's a screen capture of a video in which they all appear on TYT, where they are promoting Michael Marcus, which is Olivia Bias's Lakota boyfriend. He's one of the snitches in the case of Brendan Nastasio.
Yep.
That guy's girlfriend, Olive Bias, gave a false statement against Kathleen Bennett, lied about our reporting on Kathleen Bennett and Mulaney Stoneman, defending Mulaney Stoneman. There she is with Christinal Hollenback in the background, the same woman that framed Kathleen Bennett and took away her mother, giving her to Mulaney to be killed by Mulaney, which she nearly accomplished. And behind them is Jay Fuller, the lady that lied in a video with Myron Dewey, as part of the Freshet and the WPLC, telling people that Kathleen Bennett was never heard of by the WPLC, that nobody had contacted them about her case, and that they had no reason to protect her before, while they had already paid her bail. And they were lying about our reporting about her case and what happened to her mother.
Exactly.
That's how far they went. They didn't just lie. They didn't just ignore. They committed malpractice, illegal malpractice against a woman facing 20 years in prison, and slandered this station to cover up their crime. I am hoping, and I will never forget to mention this, but I am hoping they are all thoroughly investigated and that they are punished to the full extent of the law. By the way, here is a video, WPLC Michelle Cook post, which includes the woman you're about to see in this video. Oh no, that's the one that you just saw. Michelle Cook? the lady that you just saw introducing herself, here she is in this post that includes Nexus. Will you please read it?
Hats off to this kick-ass woman. Please share. She was warned. She was given an explanation. Nevertheless, she persisted. Isabel Monroe first contacted me under the name of Michelle Cook a few months ago and asked Joshua to get me tents out to Standing Rock for her and the other attorneys, who up until then had been working out of the tents and did very little keep the cold at bay. She worked with us, Christinal Hollenback, Maria Lynn Dayton, thanks to Lawrence Bloom for the connection with Maria, Wesley Clark, Javier L. Kinney, Ninth Matu, and so many others via Nexus Working Group on Climate Change, Nexus Working Group towards Equal Justice, and the Nexus Indigenous Issues Working Group, and through the Memnosyne Institute connections with the Urban Intertribal Center of Texas, Green Source, DFW, and others to help get what needed to get up there delivered.
So, in case I haven't made it clear that there is a direct connection between Nexus and their climate stuff and the General Clark and Wesley Clark working directly with Christinal Hollenback, the person that committed this crime, probably at his request.
Yeah.
Unless it was Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk that ordered that. But Menape said he did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of these people are complicit in this crime, folks. They're all in on it. Wesley Clark, who would you have thought that was even possible?
No, I didn't. Again, there's been a bunch of people that we've looked into closer since we've actually kind of went backwards to put stuff together, because all this stuff keeps on coming up and stuff is so current and people are going around the country, that I didn't have a lot of suspicions of people because I felt that they were there to help. I thought they had something because they professed one thing, that they were there to help people, and they would use their celebrity status or their influence or their connections to people in the media to get something done. You know, so in the beginning I didn't suspect it. Now when I look back, it makes sense.
And you know, there was a lot of people in the media saying that there were paid protesters out at Standing Rock. They were. And you want to know who probably paid them? Nexus.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we know, because they're telling you they were funding this nonsense. And again, all of this resulted in an innocent Lakota woman going to jail for 6 months needlessly because she was completely and totally innocent, and her mother going to an early grave. But not before she was cruelly left to die in the hands of Melanie Stoneman in a Bismarck hospital. Until the point that she got bed sores. I can't believe that all of these people are still running around free, not going to jail. I really, really hope that the State Bar Association investigates these crooked lawyers that collected so many millions and millions and millions of dollars supposedly to help protesters, but they just pocketed all the money instead. And and now you know that Nexus was also helping them. And here's who they put in charge, because she was in charge. Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk, this billionaire woman in Nexus, was in charge of the indigenous part of the Nexus working groups. But she put this guy in charge, Javier Kinney. He was in the pictures we showed you of Standing Rock, where Solve and there's this project she's working on, Christinal Hollenback is working on with MIT. Yes?
Yep.
The Massachusetts Technical Institute.
Yep.
Institute of Technology. How did y'all get duped? I thought you were smart people over there at MIT.
I guess not. Very gullible.
And now they're talking to these people with this pseudoscience that are pushing cold fusion nonsense. I don't even understand, but it's true. Here's Javier Kinney being introduced by Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk.
Hey everyone, this is Mary Ann here with the Nexus Indigenous Working Group, and I wanted you all to get to meet the new leader of this, Isaac Kinney. He is the first Indigenous person I got to meet at Nexus. Many of you know his brother Javier Kinney, who's been with us many years, and he and Abayam and Kalu and Tonatiuh and the other Indigenous people are going to be taking over the incredible work that's going to be coming out of the working group from now on. So I wanted him to get to introduce himself to you and tell you a little bit about his tribe and what their ideas are for continuing things.
Now Isaac Kinney. I'm from the villages of Waitspoos, Earthlager, and Pactu. Hello, my name is Isaac Kinney. I come from the villages of Huichpus, Pectaw, and Erflager, which is northwest California on the lower Klamath River. We are very big.
That you were going to play the whole thing.
It was.
I can tell you that this woman does not know anything about Mexican culture. I have white friends that speak Spanish and know more about Mexican culture than this woman does.
Yeah.
Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk. She does not know what the hell she is talking about. She has never been poor. She has never suffered. The things that people, especially not in Midwest North Dakota, have to go through. It's I resent the fact that outsiders that are from this inherited wealth are making the decisions about what happens here at home. I also think that it's atrocious that MIT is getting taken by the likes of LaDonna and Phyllis Young, who, as I told you, were hanging out with not only Wes, but this Maccabee chick, Nora Maccabee from Washington, D.C. You know, her daddy was in the CIA, and she tells all of these crazy stories about her life. She's the one that's involved in the Pizzagate scandal, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so these are all of the people that are getting themselves fellowships with MIT, people that are involved with the cold fusion and Sean Stone,
Mm-hmm.
the UFO guy.
Yep.
Like, seriously, these people are talking about, on these channels, they're talking about slave colonies on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not joking. These are things that they really believe. So how does this slip past? How do we have Christinal Hollenback back at Standing Rock, working with MIT, and now we have Javier Kinney with Nexus and Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk all involved in this. Here's Solve, the group that I told you Christinal Hollenback is part of, and here's a more recent picture of the fellows, or the people that are included. There's Christinal Hollenback in her blonde hair all the way in the back, Phyllis Young at the forefront of the picture. And you can read over there who is involved, because somebody asked the question, could you please tell us who's in the class? And someone at the Lakota Law Project, that's Chase Iron Eyes, or as I call him now, Chase Lion Eyes, his organization that raised millions of dollars for only two clients to be, two water protectors to be defended, himself and Holy Elk Lafferty, both of whom took deals, folks. How many millions did they raise for you to get taken for a ride? Who the hell knows? Can you read those, hon?
Yeah, absolutely. Apologies for the oversight. This is the Solver Osheti Sakone class of 2018. Left to right, civil engineer Kim Cameron of Standing Rock. Organizer Phyllis Young of Standing Rock. Thunder Valley CDC Solar Initiative Director Chance Renville of Pine Ridge. Oyate Take-Up Project Medicine Roof Farmers Market Executive Director Rose Frazier. Yeah, Rock Industries President Joseph McNeil of Standing Rock. And lastly, Red Cloud...
Rock Industries. Wasn't that petroleum thing that we were looking into that has that Archambault is tied to? I think it is. We got to go through these and check them out one by one, but I wanted to show them to my audience. Let's go to the next one. Here they are with MIT. At the Solve event, you can see all the same people are on the stage.
Yep.
Hashtag Solve MIT, and it's posted by none other than Phyllis Young herself. And it says over there to the right, Step 1 in our partnership with Solve at MIT. And who's one of the people commenting there, giving it some love? Why, it's none other than your old buddy Gwendolyn Cates, Duke.
Yes,
and she says, congratulations, Phyllis. She's the one that hosted Christinal Hollenback at her house. And who is it, the person all the way at the bottom, Duke? Whoa! Ann Redford Hall. An attorney that invited me to go out to Washington. I did go out to Washington under client privilege because she wanted to talk to me. And we were talking about Kathleen Bennett's case and her help assistance in representing Kathleen Bennett. This is an attorney that actually got involved, knows everything that was going on with the Kathleen Bennett case because she was continuously telling me she was about to help. And looky, there she is, liking the phonies. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes, very much.
So is the next hour and 20 minutes of the clip you're about to hear with Wes. Here it is, folks. Interview from June 20th, 2017. Nemo, keep putting that in the comments when this show keeps going on, just so that people who drop in after this starts know exactly what they're listening to. Interview with Wes Clark Jr.
I never saw him out there.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't remember ever seeing Armando. I thought for a second maybe he was Tawani's quote-unquote husband, just with a beard, but it's not him.
Well, they're all on their way to Kona, Hawaii.
Well, there's a guy there who runs something called the Earth Battalion, who gave me a whole bunch of crazy Facebook messages when I got back, and then I believe I'd have to go back and check my emails, but one of them was in LA like a month ago. I want to say it was Tavero, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check it. And he was trying to get me to link up with this Earth Battalion guy in Hawaii.
Right now? At this time?
Like he tried to get me to hook up with him online like a month ago. Because the guy sent me all kinds of crazy fucking Facebook things. At first I responded, like I do, like, I'm going to talk to crazy people like crazy people. And then I was like, this person keeps messaging me, and I just don't have the fucking headspace for it.
So this Earth Battalion thing, do you know anything about it?
I know it's Special Forces dude.
Okay.
I know it's in Hawaii. I know it's to have some kind of Special Forces / environmental thing. It doesn't fully make sense to me, but a lot of these things they do fully don't make sense. Just like on their group chat yesterday, they were talking about how they need to build a water purification plant in Flint. And all I could think is, seriously, you dumb fuckers think you can build a water purification plant? You motherfuckers who raise money and don't spend it on actual people are somehow going to build a water purification plant? I don't think so.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I just love the way that you talk. I mean, like, the way that you say things is hilarious. It's just so matter of fact and to the point. It makes me laugh.
Well, because I've been submitted to, I've worked in several bullshit industries, and I've been surrounded by bullshit people a lot of my professional life. So I can smell bullshit.
Yeah, you definitely can. So can I. I have to tell you, my skin has literally been crawling for the last 4 days. Actually, ever since you guys went...
It comes in waves.
Ever since you went... No, mine hasn't gone away. Ever since you guys went to meet with Anna, my skin has been crawling. And it hasn't gone away. And yesterday, with what transpired when they were trying to get Kathleen Bennett out of jail and hand her over to some fucking stranger...
Yeah.
I thought that was so shady.
It is. It is shady.
I don't know what
they probably would have offed her.
I don't know what they were going to do with her. They could have just as easily driven her over a state line or out of the county she was supposed to be in and gotten her arrested, They didn't necessarily have to kill her. They just needed to make her commit a crime. But anyway, I think that this next wave is going to be a smear campaign in the press. That's the last place that they have to battle. All of these people are parroting a message. Every one of them is saying the same thing. And that same thing is, we really can't do anything about Kathleen Bennett. All of you out there who are asking us what should we do about Kathleen Bennett. We don't know what to do. We're not lawyers.
We're not lawyers. We're also not engineers, but we think we're going to build a water purification system in Flint.
Yeah, and they're saying we don't have any abilities to do anything. This is going to have to be discussed in the courtroom. Okay, this has to be a thing that happens in the courtroom. And this Z, the producer for Jordan Sheridan, and also the person at the Truth Against the Machine, Z Cohen, she basically said to me when I told her that I had gathered exculpatory evidence that conclusively shows that the allegations made against Kathleen Bennett are patently false. That I have proven. You know, I've talked to a lot of people that have said shit like, well, taking her mother with dementia there in the first place is neglect, so she should be in there. And I'm like, well, you may think a lot of things. We can all have opinions. They're just like assholes. But you know what? The thing that they specifically charged her with wasn't going to the camp. It was tying her mother to a chair, leaving her naked, caked in her own excrement and urine. That's what she was charged with. And also...
amazingly, there's no photos of that, even though everybody had a cell phone on it.
Right, and according to Bill Runningfisher, Travis, the person that was with him at the time, among others...
Travis Biolette?
He didn't remember his last name, but I'm willing to bet that that was exactly who it was. He said Travis had a GoPro, and he always had a camera on him, so he was going to ask that guy to see if he might have gotten pictures or video. And I was like, okay, good. Ask him, you know? And if you can, give me his phone number and name. But of course, I never talked to Bill Runningfisher after that. So I never got a chance to find out anything further. Other than the messages that he sent to other people. But, you know, this allegation that they have no idea what to do with this case, and they're just trying to find out, like everyone else, what really happened. Can we find out where Mary is and make sure she's okay? Hey, anybody out there, does anybody know where Mary and Russell are? And they have like all of these people in the comments saying, yep, they're in Las Vegas, here's their address, like doxing them. This is really starting to scare me, the way that they're like. They also posted Kathleen's address in jail. There's a person that's been pretending to try to be a friend to the station and to Kathleen Bennett.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about that. The one who...
That's not the only one. There's several of them. There are several of them. They're playing both sides against the middle because they think we're stupid and we're not monitoring their live streams of Ed Higgins and all these other people because they have us blocked. But we have a multitude of ways of finding out what the fuck they're doing. And so she messaged me and she's like, hey, I found out the address for Kathleen Bennett so people can write her letters of support. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, so fake-ass bitches like Rachel Burkrot can send her letters and make her think that she's just a supporter that just showed up and grew out of the earth organically. And now when she shows up at the jail and says, hi, I'm here to bail you out, she's just going to go with her or accept it, you know? That's what they were trying to do.
Yep.
So I gave instructions to Russell to tell his mother, you know, you can receive all the mail you want, but do not respond to any of it because they are gathering anything they can on you. And Russell's had drones flying outside of his fucking house for over a week now. So it's
what size drones?
I don't know. I haven't asked him. I'd have to ask him. Next time I talk to him, I will ask him what size drones. Question for Russell. Size of drones.
And what's the altitude that they're going over his house at?
Drone size and altitude.
I don't expect him to know the model number of the drone.
Well,
if he can get a picture of one during the day, it would be awesome. I think he might have been trying to do that. I don't know if
Josh told him not to because he was like, just stay in your house, dude. Because he's been freaking out for a while, you know. In fact, poor kid, you made him feel normal.
Did I?
You did. He was like, he really liked you. He really enjoyed meeting you in person. And he said, you know, I felt like I was crazy. A lot of this time, I'm like, you know, am I going insane? You know. And then when I was with Wes, I was like, no, it's okay. It's normal to be this paranoid.
I'd like 6 hard shell value tacos, large fries, and a large Coke, please. Okay, that's it.
No guacamole?
Okay, thank you. No guacamole, because they charge like $2 for the guacamole.
And what about Mexicorn?
You know.
How about Mexicorn?
Do they sell that at Del Taco?
I don't know. I don't live in California.
I wish we had a Taco John's out here, because I do feel that they are much better tacos.
Yeah, well, I don't call those tacos. I call those chingaderas.
No, you know what? Some ketchup, please.
Chingaderas is what those things are. Real tacos are made by Mexicans.
Well, no thanks. Yeah, but trust me, all my tacos, thank you. Okay. Great, thanks. Have a nice day. The thing is, it's like, okay, first of all of my tacos that I buy at Del Taco are made by Mexicans. So everybody working in there is Mexican, so they are muy auténtico.
Okay.
Y yo hablo un poco español.
¿De veras?
Porque mi esposa fue colombiana.
Ah, sí es cierto, se me olvidó. Oye, pero tú hablas el español muy bien, no un poquito.
Mi vocabulario es como un niño.
No, pero entiendes mucho. Y tu vocabulario, tu pronunciación, súper chingona, ¿eh? Muy bien.
Gracias. No, porque cuando see, here's the past tense thing that fucks me up. Cuando hablando sobre mi esposa de colombiana, mucha gente dime, ay, qué pasado, qué lástima, colombiana, because they know how painful it is.
Oh. That you married a Colombian or that you divorced one?
No, that both, because A, really beautiful, B, really mean.
Oh, well, that's at least you have Spanish to carry you out of that situation, because you know you made out pretty good, and you had children with her, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I had 2 kids, and they're both beautiful and wonderful, and you know, I was just married to the wrong person.
See what happens? That it kind of puts you off.
It's that whole class thing. So it was like her father was a surgeon. I think her mother was middle class from Bogota.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you know, your job as the man is to make enough money that we spend it all on a staff to service me. And you know, I feel bad for all the women in my life that have always dated me or married me thinking I'm somehow going to be rich. I feel bad for them because I'm never able to deliver on them. What's up, dogs? Stop barking. Stop. I see you. Okay, you're all great. Let me let you out back.
They listen to you good.
I have so many dogs, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
About five fucking dogs. Oh, I was going to ask you, So I talked to my manager yesterday in the screenwriting world, and I started to tell him the story, and he's like, holy fuck, dude. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's like a movie, a documentary, a novel, all of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, he's like, well, I'm friends with Leslie Stahl's daughter. Would you guys want to tell the story on 60 Minutes?
Ooh, yes.
And I was like, fuck yeah. So you'd be down for that, right?
For hell yes. On 60 Minutes, man, that's some like old school reporting. They do some good work.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I have an aversion to is a hack that comes in and does a shitty job with such an important topic, like Chelsea fucking Lyons. People like that are what really upset me in the media world, because they just want to get to the punch and pick up their trophy and then walk out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Leslie Stahl, yes, please.
Okay.
If that could be
We'll
a
try
thing.
and make it happen.
That would be awesome.
I mean, look, the thing is, I talked to a fucking U.S. Senator and a U.S. Congressman on open lines about this.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of whether or not my calls to the FBI went through, those calls are all monitored by, all of our Homeland Security and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on the record.
Mm-hmm. But you have to understand, Wes, this is the thing that I don't think it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's already started happening. They're using their propaganda outlets. And there's more than just one. It's not just Ed Higgins Activate Now. It's not just Truth Against the Machine. It's not just TYT. It's not just...
it's task and purpose as well.
All of these, yes, a lot of these places have been used as, whether wholly or in part, because I can understand that maybe I'm incorrect about the whole site, the whole place being compromised, but they have reporters within.
1 or 2 people.
Right, exactly. Just like the Water Protector Legal Collective. I figured out how they're doing what they're doing, because I already suspected them of not taking evidence, of not helping people, and obstructing other lawyers that wanted to help, because they wanted to control the narrative. I could see it being done on the outside, but I couldn't see the details of how they were doing it. After you guys went to TYT on last Friday, I got to see inside. They take volunteers like these people, they put them on a case, and here's how they offer it to the lawyers. Hi, they fucking retained every single North Dakota lawyer that they could. They put Freshett and the Water Protector Legal Collective in every law firm in North Dakota. That's why I couldn't find a lawyer. And I went to Willie early on, and I'd asked him a number of times to look at this case, and Willie's not the sort of person to say no to me, especially because I usually bring him viable cases. I am a paralegal, so I know how to dress up a case before you take it to a lawyer to make it more palatable for them. It was the issue of, well, at first, honestly, I didn't have any money to help Kathleen, so I was asking him to do pro bono work, which nobody likes to do. And second of all, he's so far from Bismarck that he felt like this was not only going to be costly, it was going to be very time-consuming and difficult, and he didn't even want to think about doing it pro bono. So when I got $10,000 that I could give to him, something shifted, and he asked me about Freshett. He said, I had some lawyers come from Freshett and asked me if I wanted to work for them, retained, on any water protector cases. So what they did, I talked to his law clerk. She said they came in and they just basically say, hi, we would like to know if you would be willing to be an attorney for water protector cases. We don't have anybody for you yet, but if we do, we'll send them your way, and you already have the retainer on hand. And here's the best part. you don't even have to work the case alone. It looks like you're a small firm here. We will send you law clerks. We will send you law students and volunteers. And in fact, they can even do most of the work for free. All you have to do is be the attorney of record. So that's how they got all of these lawyers in North Dakota shanghaied. Because you know what? They don't even have any idea. Lawyers do this all the time. Lawyers have their paralegals do all the work. That's how it normally happens. But at least you know your paralegal and you trust her. Now you're doing pro hoc work with a network of fucking people you never fucking met. You don't know them from Adam. And even the people within those networks, the Water Protector Legal Collective and Freshet, don't know all of the people that are working for them. So it's very easy to have somebody come and infiltrate that group and work directly with the prosecution. The only thing that you can't see is all of the discovery. So they can figure out exactly what they need to do and how they need to maneuver in a case, what kind of plea deals they need to give based on evidence being collected. They can sabotage the case from within.
This is incredibly illegal, isn't it?
Yeah, but not if you don't catch them. Not if you don't catch them. We caught them, Wesley.
But you caught them.
We caught them. We caught them, but nobody had been able to see that, and that is why they are scared right now, because their cover has just been blown. And you know what the first thing I did was? I called another water protector whose case is being handled by Freshet, incidentally, right at the same time that Water Protector Legal Collective showed up, and Rachel called Russell and said, "Hi, we would like to bail your mother out of jail." They contacted this other water protector and said, "Hi, we would like to pay for your legal fees. Here's $20,000. And she was super excited, and I was like, "Oh, that's great." Never asked her who gave her the money. And so I called her and I said, "Who gave you that money?" And she goes, "Freshet." And I'm like, fuck. I said, who are the lawyers working on your case? Because the one lawyer that she mentioned, I know. And so I was comfortable with that because I thought, okay, that's a good lawyer. I know who he is. You're in good hands. His name is Bruce Nestor, by the way. And he's married to a Mexican. White guy married to a Mexican, good friend of mine. Her name is Susana de Leon, also a lawyer. And they were out at Standing Rock. In fact, she texted me once when she was going out there, because they go out there and do the Aztec dancing. She travels around the world doing that, and runs a law firm with her husband. So I knew that they were safe, and they're for real. They've been advocates doing advocacy work on behalf of immigrants and poor people, and you know, they were out there protesting the Philando Castile killing in Minneapolis, and they're down. They're for real. So I wasn't worried about that, but she kept mentioning a guy named Jeff. And when she leaked information to me about her boyfriend's case and told me that Michael Marcus was definitely an informant, and this wasn't his first rodeo. So I started saying that in my shows. I said, Michael Marcus, a known informant, and people started flipping the fuck out. I saw in the comments, they were like, how do you know this? Who told you this information? And I'm like, I'm not telling, but I know. I know that's true. So after I said that, she gets a call giving her $20,000 for her legal fees, and the lawyer contacts her from her legal team to tell her that Michael Marcus has decided not to cooperate any further with Morton County. I told the story to the attorney on our legal team. She didn't even let me finish the sentence. She goes, bullshit. I said, really? And she goes, yeah, you can't not cooperate anymore. He's already, the only reason that guy is facing charges is because this guy turned him in. He's already given them the information. You can't unring that bell. So I called her back and I said, this is what the attorney I'm working with said about what that other attorney that called you said. And she's like, yeah, I was thinking about that too, and I thought it was really weird. I had all my red flags going up when she told me that this lawyer called her on a Sunday after I had done my show. And I'm like, what? First of all, you can't find a fucking lawyer or a doctor on the weekend to save your fucking life.
No.
That shit doesn't happen in real life. I said, how do you...
Chelsea Lyons could.
I said, who is this guy? Do you know him? And she said, no, actually, I don't. And I said, do you trust him? And she goes, well, now that you mention it, he will never talk to me on Signal. He always says that he can't get it to work on his phone. I said, really? So you've been having unsecured conversations with your lawyer, with one of your lawyers? And she's like, yeah. And I said, and then she said, also, he's not emailing from a law firm email. He's using his personal Gmail account to message with me. And
I just got a weird thing in Turkish from someone named Iman Isley.
Iman Isley?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's not a name that comes up in your...
Nope. No, I'm looking.
From.
Isley. Iman Isley. So when she told me all of that, I said, you know what you need to do? You need to contact your lawyer immediately and tell him that you do not want anyone from the Water Protector Legal Collective or from Freshet having any more to do with your case. They can't have any confidential information. Everything is client attorney privileged between you and Bruce Nestor only.
Mm-hmm.
And I shut their shit down with one call. I only wish I knew. This is what I'm upset about, and I know that you guys trust Anna, and I'm so happy that you do, and I'm hoping that she will run and do something with this story. But the clock is ticking, Wes, and every fucking day that I sit on this information, there's somebody out there whose legal case is being railroaded by these motherfuckers because I can't tell the public what I know.
Mm-hmm.
If I could tell the public what I know, they could all lock down their legal cases, and either the Freshet and the Water Protector Legal Collective would have to pony up that money to actually help water protectors so that they could salvage their image. Because when I was talking to this bitch on the phone, I made it real clear what I thought of her. I want her to run home and have nightmares every time she thinks of me. Because I said to her very clearly, what are you doing? It seems to be very clear to me that you are only here to bail out Kathleen if it gives you access to client and attorney privileged information from her case. And if that's the if that's the contingency on which you are willing to bail out Kathleen, she does not want your help. And she's like, no, of course not. I said, because you are gathering information. You have you can't explain to me why a paramilitary contractor is your carrier, your cell phone carrier, and who your phone is registered to. This no first name, last name Preston person. You've been gathering information. You've been contorting yourself to go around the legal and proper professional pathway to dealing with this case.
Here's what's weird. I got notifications in Turkish for messages I supposedly have on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go to Facebook, there is no Turkish message.
Weird.
Yeah.
Are you in Messenger?
No, I'm at my actual Facebook.
Okay.
Let me click on this fucking link. It's got all these people on this.
I'm talking about Facebook Messenger too. But I told her, I said, who are you collecting this information for and who are you giving it to? Is it the prosecution? Is it Morton County? And she's like, of course not. I would never do that. And like she was flipping out. I knew she was going to deny, but I wanted her to know, I am on to you, I know what you're doing, and you're not going to do it. And I said...
I'm really freaked out about the Turkish stuff I just saw on my computer, which...
Did you open up your Messenger to see if you could see it?
No, I'm in Messenger. It's not there. But I know this was like Turkish. I know what Turkish looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it was in like a Facebook message format. And when I get on Facebook, there's no message.
Weird.
Very weird. I'll have to call Josh and figure out what the fuck that is.
Oh my God, are you joking right now?
What? Why?
No, I just noticed that there was a tropical storm Cindy in the Gulf of Mexico.
Here it comes.
No, it's real. Somebody posted it. It says Tropical Storm Cindy. It's in the Gulf of Mexico. Now they name a tropical storm after me. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
So I really hope that we don't have to sit on this information much longer. It is giving me agita. When I talked to Josh yesterday, I'm like, seriously?
Well, what are you still sitting on? Because I was kind of, you already brought up Ed Higgins. You didn't, but you never finished burying Jordan.
It's not about burying Jordan. It's about exposing the Water Protector Legal Collective and the fact that they are working in people's cases and that they are sabotaging people's cases. They pointed... I saw a lot of things that really pissed me off, like the fact that they bailed out Ed Higgins, that the Water Protector Legal Collective was helping a bunch of these infiltrators. And I'm like, oh, I guess that's what they're using Water Protector money for. They're going to go and make sure that they get all of their agents out of jail after they fake arrest them. Mm-hmm. And I would talk about somebody like Michael Fassig and Michael Marcus and expose them, like on the night that they burned the HQ for the Veterans Stand for Standing Rock. And the next day, they'd get arrested. And I'm like, oh, how convenient. I guess they called their agents in. Got to get arrested because now people are suspecting you of something shady. So that's when Marcus got arrested, literally like the day after I called him out, and Fassig. And so that was one of the indicators to me that they were misusing the money. It seemed almost as if the only people they were willing to help were people that didn't need any help. And the people that actually needed help were not getting any help at all. I called, after working with them and helping them on picking up people that were getting out of jail and, all of that collection of evidence, they didn't want my help anymore. They cut me out of the Signal group chat, and they stopped taking my calls. They refused to take my calls, which is really, really odd, given the fact that Chad Nodland, one of the attorneys of record on this here in North Dakota that was working with the Water Protector Legal Collective, is a friend of mine that I've known for many years. Even he stopped talking to me. Never returned any of my calls. So I had suspicions, and then I started talking to other lawyers that came to me because they know I have a legal background and I know attorneys in the state, and they're like, can you find anybody that would pair up with us? We want to come in there and give free legal counsel to all these people getting arrested. Others came to me and said, we're with a group that wants to sue Morton County and force them to open the bridge. And other people said, we have a motion to sue the state of North Dakota for environmental damages and blah, blah, blah. And they had to go through the Water Protector Legal Collective. And I know for a fact that the Water Protector Legal Collective was saying, oh, we'll handle that. We'll take care of that. Give us your work and we'll take it from here. Thanks. And then they wouldn't do shit with it. On several occasions, this happened. And these lawyers, they're not the kind of people that are going to call out the Water Protector Legal Collective and call them a sham publicly. Because in that world, they don't do that to each other. But I had several of them reach out to me and go, fuck those people. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they don't want to help people. So I knew that there was something really strange about the way that they were conducting themselves. didn't realize to the extent that they were controlling everything, soup to nuts. You know? They're controlling every little piece of it. There's one piece of it that we're talking about with the media part that is very concerning, but this thing has many legs. It needs to have that many legs just to stand. One arm is the media arm. The other arm is the legal arm. Just like they had a whole host of paramilitary contractors that are set up all over the country, probably in every state. They're already networked. All you gotta do is call one of them.
That's true.
Yeah, they're ready to go. So they've got them in Flint. They've got them everywhere.
I can't wait to see what they try and do tomorrow.
You're excited about that?
Well, I'm worried about it. You know, I mean, look, for me, what matters is that the whole dishonesty thing at the heart of the entire war on terror is part of the problem. I mean, because the military pumped fake stories into the mainstream news in the late 2000s, they broke trust with the American people. I mean, we're a fucking democracy. If you don't know the facts, how can you make a decision? When somebody fucks up, you have to know they fucked up. So that you can change what you're doing to stop fucking up. And they've taken this away from us. And they've broken down trust. And now all these techniques that they used overseas, which, by the way, obviously didn't fucking work, because the entire Middle East is on fucking fire.
Yeah.
All these things that didn't work there, now they're trying to do it here at home. And it's I mean, just the fact that woman on the links from The Intercept, her job when she was in the military was as a professional propagandist.
Wow.
And she's doing the same thing back here.
Wow.
Except it's for money. I mean, I'm sure it was for money then, but they convinced all the soldiers it's really about patriotism.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's this... Look, I understand people got to work. And I always say, don't hate the players, hate the game. But I also think that the whole... I mean, one thing we did learn from the Nuremberg trials is you can't just say I was doing my job.
Yep.
You're still a fucking criminal.
Yep.
And there are levels of denial you have to be under, many layers, in order to be aware of the effects that you are having. Your crew, your operation, your company, your battalion, whatever the fuck you're involved in, what you're affecting other people with, and you do have autonomous choice whether or not you continue to do that. And what I've seen is that these people are callously moving forward, knowing full well that we have exposed the innocence of this woman. They're more concerned with protecting the operation than they are with making things right. And I've said all along, I told people, I said, you know, if they would let Kathleen go, I could move on to other things. I don't have to keep exposing them. I could just be like, oh good, Kathleen's home now. Bye everybody. Gotta go. But that's not happening. So I have to continue to expose what they're doing. I don't have any choice. I don't want to be in this relationship any more than they do. But they're not giving me any options. And the way that I see things right now, I hope Josh agrees. I'm going to have to do something about this very soon. People are literally writing to me and saying, why are you not talking? When are you going to say something again? And I almost feel like, I'll just be really honest with you, Wes. I feel like TYT could be holding this information hostage, not possibly with the intent of doing something with it, possibly with no intent of doing anything with it, but when we're sitting here not doing anything or saying anything that exposes people that are part of this, they get to carry out their plans unfettered, you know? That concerns me a lot. I've done a lot of things in my life, and the things I regret the most, to be honest with you, is all of the times that I could have said something and I didn't, or done something that I didn't do. That's the shit that sticks with me.
I got it. No, I mean, that's what caused me to call the FBI. I'm like, I can't let a terrorist fucking attack happen in the country. Even if people call me crazy, there's something going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going on linking this group of people. And they are not undercover FBI.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, I highly doubt Chelsea Lyons, Jordan Charlton, Mike Wood, Ed Higgins, and fucking Evan Duke are FBI. Highly doubt it. Just because of Evan Duke's drinking and everything else.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's something different.
Oh yeah, they're definitely something different. But did you see the kinds of things that were in his email account?
No.
You know, he was taking pictures of people's license plates.
Yeah, license plates, all that stuff. Yeah, no, I saw that.
Who does that? Spy.
Well, also maybe someone who's running from spies. I mean, I gave you license plates on the phone of cars that followed me.
Right, yeah, but this is way different because he's in different locations and he's taking pictures of people's cars and their license plates, and he's taking Wi-Fi passwords, you know, at different events, and maps, pictures of the mapping the whole location.
Yep.
That's just spy shit. That's what that is. If you what did they do when people were in the civil rights movement? What did they do when people would meet somewhere? They go around and take pictures of their license plates.
Yeah, that's true.
They figured out every time they've had a protest, a march, or whatever, they have a contingency of their people that know the route, that know the layout, and that are going to be infiltrating in that group to keep tabs on what the people are doing.
Yep.
They're also going to need an in on all of the electronics and the Wi-Fi passcodes so that they can hook up to the same network, monitor the network, and also troll the network.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's what the guy was doing. It seems pretty clear to me. Not to mention the fact that he became, overnight, he went from being a deadbeat that doesn't pay his child support and is in huge amounts of debt, to being flush, having bunches of money in his bank account, and not having to drive around all the time. Now the motherfucker's flying here and there, all of the time.
I would love to know what the fuck is going on in Hawaii.
Me too. I'm very curious about that.
Well, hold on, I'm home, so let me look up on Facebook, and it's going to take me a while to scroll down through all these motherfucking messages.
Mm-hmm.
But I know these guys sent me a ton of messages. And I know I'll be able to find them. Because they send them to me all the fucking time.
Message. Oh my God. I need to find a place in Bismarck.
Harold Bustamante.
Harold Bustamante.
Yep.
Okay.
It's one of them, I think.
Harold Bustamante. Okay, found him.
Same MO, travels all over the place.
He's owner, CEO, executive producer at One Love Vibration Films.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. His Facebook thing is a bunch of money rolled up in he's got these stacks of money. You see that?
No.
Is that his page? Looks like it.
Probably.
Human that loves all life, that respects life on planet Earth. May the force be with you.
Here it is. It's in Wikipedia. The 1st Earth Battalion was the name proposed by Lieutenant Colonel Jim Channon, a U.S. soldier who'd served in Vietnam, for his idea of a new military of super soldiers to be organized along New Age lines. By the way, this is the guy who was responsible for the men that stare at goats. Okay? And this guy Jim Channon sent me all kinds of shit after Standing Rock, trying to get me involved in his group.
Are you fucking with me right now?
Look him up! Look up 1st Earth Battalion. And this guy, Harold Bustamante, when he was out in D.C., tried to meet with me. And I'm always like, nah, I can't meet. Because after that one really spooky guy came by my house, I'm like, no, I'm not fucking meeting anyone. And this guy said, oh, no, you should get in touch with Jim Channon. I know Jim Channon sent me a ton of shit after Standing Rock to my Wesley Clark Jr. account. And I looked at it, and I was like, this looks batshit crazy.
It is crazy. No, the reason I'm asking you if you're putting me on right now is because there's this one person I've been talking, well, she messages me all the time, but she keeps talking about the men that stare at goats.
Okay,
and
but here's another piece. Jim Channon lives in Hawaii.
So does Chelsea Lyons.
What?
Chelsea Lyons is from Kona, I believe.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Lyons, Kent. Chelsea Lyons, Kent, Hawaii. There's a big CNN story about her giving the middle finger to at a Democratic delegate. She's a Democratic delegate from Hawaii. She gave the middle finger during the DNC roll call.
Oh, yeah. Of course she did.
Let me see. I'm pausing it. I'm going to send you the video on Facebook so you can see it. And here is...
Okay, so now we know what the Hawaii connection is. They're all connected to Hawaii.
Oh, shit. Wesley. I always have a hard time finding you to message you things on Facebook because we're not connected.
Message, just friend me. They'll all know we're friends. They all know we're talking anyway.
Okay, there. Just friend me. Every time I go to look at your face, I'm like, where is he? I have to type out.
By the way, one of their other today.
Yeah.
Sarah Lopez.
Oh! She is, oh fuck, really? Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay, so let me tell you what I know about that. So, when Missy Waddell, the woman that gave me her her statement about Ed Higgins, and she was the one that's been giving me all these documents too. She contacted me a full week ago. Well, now it's even longer. Probably now closer to 2 weeks. But she first talked to me on the phone and told me all of these things about Ed Higgins and how he had assaulted her and how she'd worked on Activate Now. And I said, you know, I'm going to need you to send me some documentation of what you're talking about. So she started sending me this stuff, and she was talking with other women on the board, including a woman named Lene, what's her last name? Lene.
I've never heard of anyone named Lene.
Well, I'm just going to give you these names so you have them, because if you hear of anything about them, then you will know. Lene Is this her? She just friend requested me recently. So.
Okay, Jim Channon. He last messaged me in. He messaged me all the time. Want to hear some of the crazy shit he wrote me?
Yes.
Okay, going back to 12/03/2016. Mission, EarthSupportBattalion.com from Jim Channon, LTC retired. Advancing peacefully from Earth Battalion Manual, carrying animals like lambs, horses, light blue peace flag, see concept about Natural Guard to carry your work forward, Godspeed, soldier for life, so with you to the end, sending camera commando David Lakota, get him to shoot the leading team, ex-Marine. That was on the 3rd. On the 5th, he is bringing Natural Guard shield I designed. Perhaps you guys could pass these out to the frontline players so they could start a battalion where they came from. David will bring one in live. Thanks, soldier. You have it right. Keep it up. Jim Channon, Commander 1st Earth Battalion. Thanks for taking, and then on the 8th, thanks for taking the lead, champ. The real messages of your intent are in the world. Your branded veterans options worldwide. It's done out there. Good job, Jim Channon, Earth Battalion. And I said, thanks, bro. And then on the 13th, he says, I have a video after action report from LTC I sent to support the vet's cause. He has clear coverage and commentary of tactical value. Can he post this report on your timeline? Very good observations for future strategy. You are authorized some R&R, I guess you know. Or if there's a Facebook site that would not be monitored. Great work. Jim Channon, EarthBattalion.com. You can review them on my timeline anytime. Say hi to Michael. I said, hi, Jim. Everything I write or received is now monitored. I'll check it out. And it goes on. Here's the thing. Maybe he really believes in the Earth Battalion. All these guys are all so spooky. I don't know what's fucking real and what isn't. Who's bullshitting me and who isn't.
That's weird.
But if it's the man who stares at ghosts getting in touch with me, I know it's probably not for real.
It's probably not a good thing, no. So this Sarah Lopez is from a wealthy Texas family, and she...
Whoa. Now that makes me do another connection, because one of these people is from a wealthy Texas family who posts all the time on my Facebook timeline.
Yeah.
And tags me all the time. Let me find her name. And she's from a wealthy Texas family, and she's Mexican.
Okay. Sarah Lopez was on
Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk.
Mary
Ann, no E on it, just M-A-R-Y, and then A-N-N, and then Thompson-Frank.
Got it.
Oh, Frank. F-R-E-N-K.
Frank. Found it. So the Sarah Lopez was basically put on the board because Ed Higgins likes pretty girls that he wants to fuck on his board, and he also wants people with money. So he put her on the board because she was funding a lot of his operation. But she started to question what he was doing with the money, and she started to question his drinking and his behaviors right around the time that he was going off the rails and his mother died and he was doing drunk live streams, and they were trying to look into his behavior and his background. So Sarah Lopez started to kind of investigate Ed and what he was doing with other people, including Chelsea Lyons. So she ran a criminal background check on Chelsea Lyons, who he was fucking at the time. And she also started trying to look into his finances, or his handling of the finances, and ask questions about him. And she was communicating all of this back and forth with other women on the board, including Missy Waddell. So she has text messages from Sarah talking with Chelsea, and they're going back and forth saying that you know, nobody really likes Ed Higgins. The real progressives are going to dump him. He's unprofessional. He needs to get his shit together. They've tried to get him to do that, and he won't, so they're going to cut ties with him. And what Missy was talking about when she said that she tried to warn him about some of the people that around him was this conversation between Sarah and Chelsea, because he was fucking Chelsea Lyons at the time, and she was shit-talking him with Sarah Lopez. And she was saying, you know, these people don't like him. He's a fuck-up. They're gonna cut ties with him. So what Missy thought she was going to do was let the cat out of the bag for Ed and say, well, that Chelsea that you're fucking is no good. She's talking shit about you. Be careful. Instead, Ed got pissed off at her and kicked her out of the organization and acted all crazy on her.
Yeah, because she saw his work review by his bosses.
Basically, yeah. And he didn't want to believe that she didn't tell him where that information came from. She just said, be careful, watch out for this person. That's all she said. And that was enough to make him come unglued. So she gave me all those texts. And she said she was still in communication with Sarah right around the time that she first started talking to me. And she said, Sarah's got a bunch more stuff on Ed. Just wait until we get all of this other stuff. That's going to be really helpful for you when you do the show. But guess what? That never happened, because all of a sudden she stopped talking to Missy, and she told me she thought that Sarah got cold feet or something, or maybe they told her to be quiet, or who knows, but that she wasn't talking to her anymore for whatever reason. And when Ed Higgins posted an apology to Missy Waddell on Facebook, he tagged Sarah Lopez in the post, which I thought was really odd, especially given the fact that at the time that I was doing all of this investigating, she was helping give us information.
He's so stupid. He's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, agreed.
He's so fucking stupid. Because now we know who Sarah Lopez is, who tried to friend me the same night Chelsea fucking writes me. God, they're so fucking clumsy.
And then she looks on Facebook again, and Missy says, oh, Cindy, this was just a few days ago, okay, Wes? It might have been Friday, the same day that you guys went to TYT. She said, Cindy, Sarah Lopez blocked me on Facebook. And I was, really? Yeah. She unfriended me. She didn't just unfriend me, she blocked me. So they are closing ranks on that end. And Sarah is on Team Higgins, I guess.
Yep. Hold on. I'm gonna click on Sarah's link. I never saw him out there.
But you know, when we put this up on YouTube, it will be just one seamless, easy to watch. No,
it'll be two, because we're doing them high definition. So.
Oh, that's right.
So we got everything. We'll just have 2 parts.
2 parts, kids. Sorry about that. How much do we have left of the interview?
26 minutes.
Yep, 26 minutes. Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Yay.
Hey, so should we?
Okay. We are resuming now with the rest of the interview that I did with Wes Clark Jr. on June 20th, 2017.
Yes. Here we go.
Here we go. The same day that you guys went to TYT, she said, Cindy, Sarah Lopez blocked me on Facebook. And I was, really? Yeah. She unfriended me. She didn't just unfriend me, she blocked me. So they are closing ranks on that end. And Sarah is on Team Higgins, I guess.
Yep. Hold on. I'm gonna click on Sarah's link and just see. Okay. So first of all, dead giveaway. She's got a picture of Julian Assange on her fucking page.
Sarah?
Like that's her. Yeah, that is her like Facebook photo. I mean, other than the one of herself in the hat, looking kind of fucking pouty.
Oh, Julian Assange with a kitty cat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, there's a Bernie thing. Are we sure this is her?
I'm positive because she tried to friend me. And she's friends with Jesse Olnicki, Harold Bustamante, Michael Sullivan, Angie Spencer,
And Jonathan Klett.
Jordan. Yeah.
This is becoming more of this is not a coincidence anymore.
No. It's not a coincidence they both tried to contact me in the same day.
No, not that. That Jonathan Klett is friends with all of these infiltrating motherfuckers. That's what.
Well, don't forget, I didn't know who these fucking people were till like a week ago.
Are you friends with him? Are you friends with Jonathan Klett?
Let me look. How do you spell the last name?
Klett.
Klett. There's Klett, Jonathan Klett.
Yep.
And my friends. No, I'm not. He's from Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Nope, not friends with him. We've got 35 mutual friends, including Travis Violette and Christinal Hollenback.
You have access to Christinal Hollenback's page?
Yep.
She has everything so tightly covered up so I can't see it.
Studied at University of Michigan.
Sarah Lopez did?
No, Christinal Hollenback.
Yeah.
Went to Nottingham High School, went to William Nottingham High School in Syracuse, New York. And by the way, she's a person who every fucking day, like, complains that she has PTSD from Standing Rock. And how she's still detoxing. It's been like 3 fucking months.
Yeah, she's gonna milk that forever. Detoxing.
Still, 11 hours ago, the rate of sobbing, healing, and giggling I'm doing is both exhausting and exhilarating. A test and practice of love and compassion I cannot run from any longer, and Pele is fueling us. Hashtag divine. And of course, Ann Thompson-Frenk, thrilled for you, Christina, love. I'm telling you, look into Ann Thompson-Frenk.
Mm-hmm. She's on
Look
the radar now.
into her.
These are upper level people.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Klett is. Do you know Doug McLean?
No. I mean, he might be a Facebook friend of mine. I mean, so many people friended me, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I never even think about it. How do you... Hold on,
Doug.
Okay.
D-O-U-G, and then McLean, M-C, capital L-E-A-N.
He gave me a friend request. Works at Unsi Maka, Grandmother Earth, studied environmental science at the University of Pennsylvania, 82. No. I mean, he tried to friend me. I didn't respond to the friend request.
Yeah, because he tagged a bunch of people together. This person named Sparrow, whose real name is Ivy Sparrow Robin. and
Wow.
and Sarah LaFleur Vetter, Josh Fox, the filmmaker. Sarah LaFleur Vetter. Why is that name sticking out for me? Oh, I think I know who that is. Ed Higgins, Nomiki Konst. Nomiki is somebody that I've heard named over and over.
Nomiki is somebody that was on RT that got hired by TYT to be a reporter last summer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and then Jonathan Klett is in here. Jonathan Klett was embedded out there at Standing Rock, and he, we gave him the information on the story of Kathleen Bennett, and he never...
You should really check out Christinal Hollenback's timeline, and I'm telling you, this woman, Ann, Mary Thompson-Frenk, tags me all the fucking time. She's constantly, like, Facebook living. That's just, these people all Facebook Live a lot.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can see all her posts or not. The first post on Hollenback's page that I can see says, when someone says something racist or homophobic or sexist or in any way hateful, I speak on that with that person and or tap others to do so pronto. I don't do this to make myself feel good. Shit. Most of the time it gets violent and I have to defend myself. Shout out to the many of you who have had my back. But it's much less than this target would feel. Their targets would feel. Is that the first post?
No.
Sounds like somebody's... See, I'm telling you, I can't read all her shit. I can't look at all her shit.
No. This is,
The first thing I can see is from May 31st.
She posts a ton of shit from Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk. A ton of shit. And Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk tags me more than almost any other person. And she was part of the whole group working with Christina to get a plane and medical supplies and everything else sent to Standing Rock in November. Did any of that shit ever fucking arrive?
No.
Really? Because they had, like, supposedly hundreds of thousands of dollars in medications and equipment, medical equipment, that they were supposedly bringing into the camp.
I would guess that...
At the end of November.
I would guess that a lot of the stuff that they said that was going to be given to the camp was taken and destroyed. I know that a lot of people took their own medical supplies out there that were paramedics and that were combat trained, medics from the veterans groups. And it seemed to me that every time, I'm on the phone, guys. Every time that they would arrest people, they would take as much as they could in terms of supplies for safety, like
Whoa.
masks.
Whoa, June 9th, I think she posted something about you.
Me? What did
Yeah. June 9th, 9:18 p.m. Let's fast forward to the end of this story for you when I unceremoniously dethrone your ego while I expand your heart to stop your own cycles of violence. Those are my weapons. Because here's the trick. I'm always going to have my Chetty family's back. Always. I don't give a F what any Facebook fake ass, but with dollar signs, radio show personality, or any other perpetrator of capitalistic, egotistical, competition-thriving, colonial violence-ish has to say about them, because I know their heart's on a level you can't comprehend. And for the lot of you who I didn't agree with all the time, I still love your asses. I'm never going to let someone speak sideways about you either, because you are my sisters and brothers in this. That said, love includes accountability, and we should have compassionate critiques of ourselves and others, and never be silent about anything that has been done to cause us harm, consciously or unconsciously. But does not have to become negative gossip around a story that just so happens to always leave you as the hero. Symptoms of supremacy thinking, comma, and then fam, period. You don't have to be BFFs with everyone. You don't have to support everyone's actions, but you also don't need to spend energy in hate either. It's going to take many ways, because I'm not better than anyone. All I can do is commit to have your back, never play into the gossip, or let that erode my trust for you, and always uplift you as the heroines you are in this world, and hold you accountable for any shit, spelled with a $sign, you pull that's out of integrity. And you should me. Moral of the story, don't, all caps, ever come for my family. And unfortunately for you, my family is all these beautiful, imperfect, courageous, kind souls who made up the heartbeat of Ochetti Sakawa. But come for hugs before you get to that haterade point, because I only got it in spades. And she's hashtag sensitive thugs, we all need hugs. And hashtag love you till all the ugly drips out. You want to see who answered her in that?
Yeah.
Someone named Wanbly Mani.
Well, how do you spell that last name?
M-A-N-I.
Okay.
Sly Fox with 2 X's.
Okay.
Joaquinian Skawi.
Oh, that's Mulaney Stoneman.
Zint Kala Mapia Win Black Owl.
Can you spell that one?
Zintkala Mahpia Win Black Owl.
Got it.
Dylan Lanius. Michael Stevenson Jr. I can only, doesn't say directly, but I can only guess this is about you.
It's totally about me. But June 6th was only a few days ago. What?
No, June 9th.
June 9th. Oh, sorry. June. I did write that down. I said it the wrong way.
So here's the names of the people that loved it. L.J. Farah, Michael Stevenson Jr., Natalie Molina Nino, Heidi Seibel, Nora Essie, Latina Epps Thomas, Iomeli Vinny, Laura O, Akaya Winwood, Ryan Visions with a Z, or 2 Z's, Sly Fox, Trey Deuce, Be More Certified, Daya Oaks Williams, Maya Rose Burko, Andy White, Crystal Hauser. And then the ones who indicated pride in it were Cynthia Mann Alban, Ganesha Deva Kriya, Zint Kala Mahpia Win Black Owl, Ray Leaner.
She was defending Mulaney.
That's what it sounds like, right? That was on June 9th at 9:18 p.m. And she didn't tag anybody.
June
9th,
No.
9:18 p.m.
I'm looking back in my timeline to see what show did I do? What was I talking about on June 9th? Because
Possibly June. Could have been June 8th.
Right. It would have to have been a show that I did right around that time. Okay, so I didn't do the Real Idiots until after the 12th. That would mean... No, I was not talking about that yet either. Real Idiots. Let me see. June 8th. It was the start of Real Idiots. Oh, I have to go through this. What else?
She shared a post by Dallas Goldtooth about 10 minutes before of the military trucks that blocked Highway 1806 on the Blackwater Bridge.
Dallas. I know he's a piece of shit too.
She texts all the time with Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk.
Uh-huh.
All the fucking time.
And Kevin Gilbert did his live stream on June 9th too. That was a pretty pivotal day. That was, okay, so June 7th, I did a show called What About Mary? Could have been that one too. Yep, it could have been this one. So I'm going to check this out. What About Mary? Mary and Real Idiots 1. I must have said something in there that I didn't say before because I've talked about Christinal Hollenback on more than one occasion.
Right. See, now I'm going to have to keep going down to look what else she says because she must have addressed something about you before.
Must have. I can't see. So.
Well, I mean, she does. She shares a whole lot of like articles that look like, you know, how native she is and how down she is with the
She's
family.
not native.
No, I mean, but like how her sympathies are.
Oh yeah, she likes talking about shit like that too.
I mean, she definitely posts tons of feminist and social justice warrior stuff.
Mm-hmm. She's so fake though.
Yep.
Somebody just sent me a message saying, looks like Ed Higgins is in Hawaii and Mulaney Stoneman is there with him. Yep, I already know that, everybody. Day late and $1 short. Got that one figured out. I don't know how to screenshot, but I copy and pasted Menape's comments from June 18th's live feed from Chelsea Lyons. Menape, the headsman, made a comment on the feed about Kathleen being guilty and how interesting it was that Ed Higgins liked his comment. That motherfucker.
Of course he did. They have to build up credibility amongst each other. So if people go, wonder who this guy is, they look on their website and they're like, man, a lot of people like him and listen to him and he talks to a lot of people. And then they click on those people and they're like, oh, and all those people are legit too.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. You can create an entire movement, I think, with just 50 people. Like posting enough fake shit.
Yeah. Except that for me, I've been watching this for so long, so intently, that I know what all of these people are doing. I know who they are now. So when I see them gathering, I'm like, okay, I see you. I know what you're trying to do.
Okay. Joaquinian Skawi, that's who you say Mulaney Stoneman
That's
is?
Mulaney Stoneman.
Okay, she shared on May 31st, she shared Darla Banks' post with Christinal Hollenback and 10 others, which is, Darla Banks' post was 20-year-old Lacey Williams, a former water protector at Standing Rock, is being held captive.
Mm-hmm. Their whole little charade they did with that. So Christinal Hollenback shared that, huh?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then now is the post you saw, which is when someone says something racist or homophobic or sexist.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually she originally said. And of course, the first person to like it was Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk.
Oh my God. Ed Higgins just posted this 11 minutes ago from Hawaii. I wasn't even in the event for 10 minutes, and already Mulaney Stoneman is playing games and has me threatened. I came for peace and to learn. I am done. Oh, you poor little victim. Your friend Mulaney Stoneman. He's pretending to be threatened by Mulaney Stoneman so that he can act as if he's not one of them. That's what that post that you just talked about where...
Okay, wait. Here's another one. Do you have this post from Christinal Hollenback at May 30th at 7:41 a.m.?
Nope.
Lakota, it's a picture and it says, Lakota and Dakota grandmothers captured the Nazi flag flying over Leith, North Dakota and burned it. It's what real Americans do. Did such a thing actually happen?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good.
It did happen, but there was a lot of people that were part of that whole Leith, North Dakota thing It was almost like it credentialized them further their careers and put them in better leadership positions, because Chase Iron Eyes was part of that. That whole Leith, North Dakota thing was a pretty big deal, because these Nazis wanted to take over a town in North Dakota and make it into like a space for, white supremacy.
Uh-huh.
And these people went out there and basically shouted them down and ran them out of the area. They basically ran them out of town.
Wow.
And the police responded by arresting them, which I thought was incredible, because cops usually don't care about Nazis,
Yeah.
They let them run free. So I was surprised that they did anything about it, but they did, and they got rid of them.
James Martinez just wickered me.
He what?
Just wickered me. Wicker. Imagine some kind of fucking photographic attachment or something. Which I'm not even gonna.
You're breaking up really, really bad.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I said James Martinez just messaged me.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah. This is getting weird.
Yeah.
What does he want? Does he want you to go to Hawaii or Flint?
No, there's some kind of download. Okay.
Oh, be careful.
Hope you're doing okay. I'm not even going to answer him.
Don't do it. Oh, God. I need to find somebody in Bismarck. I need to find a safe house in Bismarck. I know. It's almost impossible thing to do.
It's pretty crazy. We're in a crazy situation here with people that are devious, but not super geniuses.
No.
And they're not the government, because the government would just be able to look through all our phones, computers, and everything else at any time they wanted to.
Yes. Oh, fuck.
Well, just be super careful tomorrow, Cindy.
I am going to be super careful tomorrow. I know. I know what you told me. I was listening.
So, because I'm going to be super careful tomorrow. Isn't it crazy how all the different things all fit together?
Yeah, it is.
Because you want to hear super crazy. So, okay, remember I told you that story about catching the identity thief? I did it because when I read about it, I used to read Susan Miller's astrology. And I read on that day, it's like you're going to encounter an identity thief, and what you do in the next 24 hours will determine the outcome. And I was like, no way! Like, what are the odds of that happening?
Right.
Well, I think some shit's going to go down tomorrow.
We shall see.
There, 48 hours ago, white guy killing Muslims. There was a terrorist attack, an attempted mass terror attack, like an hour ago in Brussels.
Yeah.
And my guess is tomorrow it'll be the United States.
Jesus.
And because they keep posting the pictures of the Transformers, my guess is that the attack is going to be bad enough that it transforms the United States, is their hope.
Oh, God. Oh.
Or it's just that I'm a screenwriter and I'm putting together all kinds of things that may not be connected.
Yeah.
Although I tend to think they are, simply because all these people are friends, all the elements of the stuff we're talking about are in there, the date keeps popping up. It's, I felt somehow that, it's going to sound nuts, like I felt last fall, like, okay, I'm feeling the spirit. And then when it left me, I'm like, oh man, it's gone. But I feel like I'm going to feel it again, like, right now. Like June 21st.
Yeah.
And here we're in the middle of this thing that,
tomorrow, if nothing happens all day, I guess we're safe for a while.
Mm-hmm. My God. That means I can't try to get Kathleen out of jail either.
Why?
I can't be running around trying to get her out of jail on tomorrow day when I'm supposed to stay in the house.
Well, you can do stuff over the phone.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like to do things over the phone that are this sensitive in nature. I like to do them in person.
Maybe you just need to give Russell a heads up that you're going to take tomorrow off.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means? I need to get my ass in gear right now because I only have a little bit of time left before tomorrow hits. So I'm going to jump off the phone call with you and try to make some calls right now to see what I can do before this day ends. Because I don't have a lot of time left.
All right. I will get in touch with you tomorrow if I hear anything crazy or if I'll hear anything crazy between now and then.
Especially
thanks
if
for the heads up on Sarah Lopez.
Yeah, and if you hear anything about Anna, Kasparian, and TYT moving forward with the story, please let me know.
I definitely will.
Or if they just plan not to use it at all.
Okay.
Thanks, Wes. Talk to you very soon, okay?
Okay. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye. So, there it is.
Yes.
It took a long time, but, I like to tell you what is in there, but also let you hear it, and listening to him talk about these things brings a lot of context. He is, if you figured out how he talks, there's a pattern of behavior. As I am telling him, this is what I know, and, people better watch out because this is what's going to happen, He continuously tries to shift the conversation to another topic.
Yeah.
But in the process, he's giving me information. And, did you notice how many times he told me to go look at Christinal Hollenback's Facebook page, which I'm not friends with, and he is?
Yeah. He was telling you to do a lot of things that I'm like, I'm going to start reverse engineering everything he says and just reverse it.
Like, yeah, he look over here. Don't pay attention to what you're saying, Mm-hmm. And I was very upset at the time because of what was being done to Kathleen Bennett, and he was involved with all the people that were doing that stuff to Kathleen Bennett and to her story, including TYT. So there you have it, folks. All pretty clear, and all of their unholy alliances now exposed for all of you to see. And we will continue down the rabbit hole with this connection to MIT. Hopefully those folks over there will wake up real soon and realize what and who they're dealing with and save their pennies and give them to people that deserve them. Thank you for being here with us on A Mexican Crossing Lines with Cindy Gomez-Schempp
and Duke Gomez-Schempp
on 88.1 FM KPPP LP Fargo Moorhead, where we're adding local color to your airwaves. Good night.